get right into reacting about last night real quick. So obviously, no one expected the Warriors to, let alone win, but win without Steph Curry for over 80% of the game. Uh, I guess, Jace, what's your initial reaction to the Warriors winning that game without Steph Curry in game one?
Dude, I was texting you guys, on, I guess, Monday. I wasn't taking a side. I wanted to see how game one played out. But the more I looked into it before the start of this game, there's a lot of things that screamed out some concern to me for the T-Wolves. Like, for example, just being, 20th in the league in turnovers and kind of really relying. I mean, they really relied on the three ball this year. And then their bench concerned me somewhat on like where are they going to find their scoring if their shots not falling, and they are turning over the ball because the Warriors are also a heavy turnover team. But what we have seen in the past, even though they turn over the ball, it doesn't really affect the outcome of their games. Where like unlike the T Wolves, I think in majority of the games that they had lost the turnover battle that they weren't covering the spread. I can't remember the exact number, but it wasn't good for them. And since acquiring Jimmy Butler, the Warriors have been I think one of the best defensive teams in the league. I think top two, I think is between them and OKC. And so it screams to me upset. Like the Warriors just have a favorable matchup. Obviously, when Steph Curry went down, that's a bummer losing the best player. He had 13, I think, in like the first quarter and a half of that game. So yeah, man, it sucks, but I still think there is huge concern for the T-Wolves. They don't get, like, Gobert doesn't get better. He doesn't get a more favorable matchup. He's still going against Draymond. They still have the pesky guards guarding their perimeter guys. Mike Conley didn't score a point, looked old, looked terrible. DiVincenzo pretty much useless out there. I think he hit one shot, but just running around logging minutes. There's really no bright spots for the T-Wolves team. So yeah, man, it's a red flag. They're on high alert. So we'll see. I think the Warriors do get one more though, while Steph is out.
Yeah. No, that's a good look. I want to ask you before I move on to Simi. I guess my initial reaction is the T Wolves just played bad and missed shots. Is that too simple in your mind to draw up? Like,
What do you mean missed
I don't know.
shots?
I mean,
It's not like
I
the
don't know.
Warriors were made. I mean, Ant went 7 for what, 22? It wasn't like it was completely terrible for the Wolves.
Ant had 1 point in the first half, though.
Yeah, but they weren't getting good shots either. It wasn't like they were living with open shots. It wasn't like how, for example, there's a drastic difference in how the Pacers looked game one against the Cavs. They were getting wide open shots. Game two, the shots were a little bit harder to get. I felt like everything last night was really hard for the T-Wolves. It wasn't like they were just missing open shots. Gobert was being contested. They were having tons of turnovers. But this is stuff that they have been bad with all year. It wasn't like something that was new. Like, it wasn't like, oh, the T-Wolves are just deciding to turn over the ball because the Warriors defense is so good. It's like, no, they struggle with turnovers all season. They're 20th in the league in turnovers for a reason. Like, they're not a great offensive team.
Yeah, that's fair. Simi, what's your reaction?
I guess I don't have too much to say about this one. I was on your point, CK, that they just came out pretty sleep. Maybe that time off that they were waiting for the Warriors to finish their series just kind of made them slow to start this game, and they looked almost like disinterested, like they were playing without a coach. Mike Conley was laughing and talking in the tunnel after the game. He was completely useless. DiVincenzo played awful. I think there was a bright spot, and that's Naz Reid. You can see the potential effect that he's going to have on the series. But yeah, I don't want to overreact to that game too much. I think it'd be freaking out a little bit more if they did have Steph for the next 3 games. So
of course,
the Wolves got lucky there. But yeah, I feel like they were just sleeping that game one, missed a lot of shots, had not really any offensive flow. But yeah, I don't want to overreact and think too much on that one. I'm looking at game 2 already.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. Yeah, it was a hard game to watch. I just feel like it was. I didn't recognize that Wolves team, and I'm thinking maybe it had something to do with the time off. But yeah, they're also. I do think overall though it was pretty disappointing. I was looking at some of the box scores, and I guess the big thing that jumps out to me, or one of the big things, is just like the continued production from Buddy Hield, which really started obviously in the game 7 against the Rockets, but another just pretty dominant performance from him. 5 of 8 from three, 24 points, and he also had 8 rebounds, which was tied for second most on the team. So, I mean, he's seems to be contributing beyond just jacking up threes. Obviously, he's making them, but yeah, I think the Warriors actually getting a win is just going to be dependent based on how he plays. If he plays anything like he's played the past 2 games, they might have a shot to steal one. Probably will be game 3. I have game 2 as a definite scheduled loss, but I don't know. I'm starting to doubt myself after the Cavs lost last night too, which we'll get into that series next. But Jess, what do you think? What do you think it's going to take for the Warriors to actually be able to steal a game while Steph's out?
Dude, truthfully, they're gonna play possession basketball. We saw kind of what LeBron did with the Warriors in 2015, 2016. I mean, they're gonna rely heavy on Jimmy Butler. They're gonna rely heavy on Buddy Hield and possibly Draymond offensively, and they're gonna play possession basketball and really rely on their defense and expect the T Wolves to turn over the ball more often than they do. I mean, you say Naz Reid was a bright spot. Looking at the box score, he was -5, and he shot really well. Scored 19 points off the bench, but was still -5 and had 4 turnovers. Like, the guys that they're bringing in off the bench aren't like super efficient guys. I mean, I would say their biggest bright spot is the pressure that Julius Randle put on and getting to the line 10 times. But it's like still going 4 for 11. 3 turnovers, Julius Randle. Anthony Edwards, 3 turnovers. DiVincenzo, I don't know what he was even doing out there. 33 minutes, 4 turnovers, -6, like one of 7 from three. I mean, yeah, I don't know if it gets much better for them. It's going to be a tough series.
If we're looking at the game 2 line, it's Timberwolves -10.5. Jace, do you have any leans there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to leave the overreaction to Steph being out and that you're going to want to back the Warriors here plus 10.5.
Simi, you in the same boat?
I mean, that's a big number.
That is a big number. I'd probably bet it up to like -13 though. I think the Wolves are locked in for game 2 and would be surprised if the game is close.
So what did they do? What did they do differently to change the outcome? You think it's just a matter of missing shots?
I mean, hopefully they shoot the ball better. That's baseline.
But that's still, even if they shoot it better, that's still probably what, like a 6 to 8 point game.
Yeah, they might still lose it, but
They might, yeah.
I also hope that Draymond doesn't make 4 threes and 3 of them in the first quarter. When he's doing that, you're doomed against this Warriors team pretty much.
Yeah, he's been locked in ever since that conversation with Kerr going into game 7 of the Houston game. So
yeah, Dre's a dog.